So we'll wait for this car to go by. I'm trying not to let the dog wander off. So there's there's a lot that could be said about breath. Breath and energy. The importance of breath. You probably noticed when someone's either you've been giving someone a massage or someone has been giving you a massage and you're really sore and you hit some knot and oh, one of two things will happen. Either that person's breath will come to a sharp and sudden stop, or they are someone who's learned to breathe into, through resistance. And even if they did come to a stop, eventually they're going to take a long, deep breath if you stay on that spot, right? And that's kind of in a nutshell what we do when we're in pain is we tend to stop breathing. And as breath returns, that's when we actually get to start to release the pain. If it's a whole lot of pain, maybe there's some tears, which is another way to release pain. But we're talking about breath here, so keep it on topic. Yeah, so what happens? We hit that knot, and let's say the person just keeps pressure on that knot. It's not always even so important that they're like moving, right? Like, are they actually massaging something? Let's say they just stay on that knot. Well, eventually we're going to start breathing. And if we can breathe deeply. Hey, dog. Yeah, go ahead. Eventually, if we can breathe deeply, that knot will start to release. And we breathe some more, and it releases some more. Our breath becomes longer. There's more release. So Maybe you're not a big energy person. I can't say I was for a long time. Just didn't make a lot of sense to me until I started to think of energy as emotions, feelings, sensations, and then it was kind of like, oh, I got all those. I guess I have a lot of energy too, huh? And it's a useful concept when we think of energy as movement as well. And so what we're doing when we're breathing is we're moving energy. Or we're allowing energy to move. There's all kinds of meditation out there, right, that has us watching our breath, sometimes manipulating our breath, but kind of any which way you slice it, staying with our breath. And particularly when we're breathing deeply into our bellies, there's movement. And when we encounter resistance, we'll just stick with internal resistance for now. Discomfort. Our breath tends to get shallow. And it tends to be useful to deepen our breath. And there's lots of exercises. What's that one I'm thinking of? Breath work. Right? I can't say I have a lot of experience, but most of my experience with breath work seems to be about stirring energy up. Just breathing deeply for a sustained period of time. It's going to stir your energy up. It's going to stir the pot. And then maybe some stuff comes out. Maybe some material comes out. Maybe it's useful. I'm not really sure. Most of my experiences with breath work it was just a little bit like getting high, and I would feel very energized at the end of it. And exactly the same at the same time. I guess it's just not my path, maybe. But yeah, breath is energy. Breath is the primary way that we move energy around. Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to stay with something as simple as one's breath. I think most people have some difficulty. Maybe the mind is too active. Heart's too active to really do something as simple as just watching one's breath. And so if you find yourself in this category, here's a technique for making the breath just a tiny bit more complicated, so that there's just a little more to do as you breathe. So this is another yoga one. Ujjayi breath, ocean sounding breath. Pretty simple. So imagine you were going to fog a mirror with your breath on a cold winter day. So it's that back of the throat. You're going to open your mouth and breathe out. Make a nice audible ha sound from the back of the throat. Fog that mirror. Do that a couple times. Now, you're going to do the same breath, but this time with the mouth closed. So it's going to come out the nostrils. Breathe in through the nostrils, and same thing. Fogging that mirror, but with the mouth closed. And keep playing with that. So it's breathing in through the nostrils, breathing out as if you were fogging that mirror, but with the mouth closed, so the air goes out the nose. Keep playing with it. And so what's happening here is we're circulating air into the mouth before it goes up, out through the nose. And it's kind of like adding a little restriction, a little extra step before the breath leaves the body. Just a tiny bit of resistance. And that little bit of resistance is good. It's going to make us breathe more deeply. And that little bit of resistance is also going to lengthen the breath. So breathing from the belly as we practice. Ocean sounding breath. So this is the breath that's most commonly used throughout like a moving hatha yoga class or practice. You use this breath as you're, in some crazy posture, upside down, whatever it is. Long, deep breaths from the belly. And it's got just enough stuff that we have to kind of do. That if we've got a busy mind, this will kind of center things a little bit. Kind of just enough to be a little bit grounding. And sometimes when we're going into parts of self that are in a lot of turmoil, there's a lot of resistance, the forces kind of moving in all different kinds of directions, bit of chaos. Sometimes it's useful to have something grounding, a bit of an anchor to go in there with. So Ujjayi, ocean sounding breath, can be a pretty good anchor, grounding